Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a beautiful 8th of April, 2025. Coming up this episode of the Crusty podcast. So China has meddled. That's right. Proof is in the pudding. That's right. It's proof that China has meddled. So it's no longer a conspiracy theory, you crazy leftists. All that and more. Come up the podcast. Listener and view discretion will be advised because I will swear, smoke cigarettes, and make fun of leaders as per usual, and question the sanity of our leadership. See you in a bit.
Hit it, sweetheart. Because I am hard, you will not like me.
Yes, sir.
There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthy.
From Western Canada, this is the Crusty Canuck podcast, a Canadian veteran's point of view on political, social, economic issues and life. Here's Crusty.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, episode 360. So China has meddled. How are everybody? I'm your host, Crusty Canuck. Hope you all had a great couple of days. And don't forget, this episode is brought to you in part by and supported by Veterans for Freedom Network. That's right, Stand 2 Veterans for Freedom. And coming soon, Veterans for Freedom TV. Just a reminder, too, if you like and hear what you see, click like, subscribe, share this podcast all over social media platforms. Do not be shy, ladies and gentlemen, and let me know you're out there. Give me a thumbs up, give me a comment, give me a like, all that good stuff. And just let me know where you're writing from and all this, too. And a special hello out there to a couple of new subscribers from San Diego. Right? Thank you very much. Round of applause. You guys are awesome. Right? Just keep that up too. And just make sure that you click the notification bell on the tube just to make sure you're still subscribed. So like the title card says, China's interfered. Well, hey, we've known this since 2019. China has been interfering. It just took the federal government to actually have the balls to say so. So I'm not going to sit and dwell on the fact, okay, that our democracy is being compromised as we speak. Okay. Every election is important. Doesn't matter if it's a parliamentary system or a republic system, any democracy, every election is important, regardless of how you look at the spectrum. Now, when people say, oh, you have to really, really vote for Carney because if you vote for Poilievre, our democracy is at stake. Well, if we vote for a fourth term of the same liberal mandates with the same people in power, with the exception of Justin Trudeau being gone, good fucking riddance. Okay. Do you think Carney's going to do any better? Hardly. Okay, the man's a globalist. The man's a banker. He doesn't give two shits about you. He just wants your money and wants everyone to live under the ESG fucking mandate. You know, the environmental, social, and governance mandate. It's just a quick way to get rich, make people feel guilty, to give more money, to create more portfolios for people who want people to live in fear. That's all it is, right? That's democracy in action. There's always going to be the haves and have-nots, but it's nice to be people that want to have things and carry on with things. Okay, but I'm not going to sit and dwell over the class system in this country. And I'm not going to dwell about the division. I'm going to dwell about, we were right, weren't we? People were right. Rebel media was right. True North was right. A lot of independent journalists out there were right about China meddling into affairs, right? And if there was no truth to it, then why was everyone so hush-hush about security clearance and the so-called 11 MPs or the other senators that were involved in the whole China hype? Okay. Now I got a couple of videos here. I got a video here from Judy Trin from CTV, a little short there, and the election watchdogs that exposed this. Now I watched a video today from my friends at Northern Perspective while I was at work. Now, and it's pretty lame how they present it. Now, what I'm going to do for you, my wonderful audience, is I'm going to leave a video to the actual CPAC video from the election watchdogs who confessed or who discovered all of this BS when it came to the Carney campaign, okay? And I really, really want you to listen to the enthusiasm and how they presented this to the public, right? And what they said to it. I'm also going to read an article here from Global News who put this together too. And I'm sure they probably got the same information from CPAC. I'm not exactly sure, but to make a long story short, it's a lot of bullshit, ladies and gentlemen. More bullshit you can throw. More politics, more crap, more lame excuses. You know, like how many more times do we have to put up with people and their garbage in this country when it comes to policies, when it comes to looking after the Canadian citizen, when it comes to overall security, you know, and then people are still harping about Donald Trump. Okay. Now, regardless of the tariff issues that he's promoting now throughout the globe, let's not worry about that. How about we worry about Canada? Can we do that? Can we worry about Canadians? Can we worry about what is good for Canada? Can we do that? Or is that too passe? Or is that not allowed? Right? Like it gets under my fucking skin sometimes when I see all these protests going on outside of political campaigns, university campuses, talking about Gaza, talking about what's going on over there, right? We got bigger problems here. We got bigger fish to fry here in the Great White North, rather than what's going on in the Middle East. Middle East has been a hot spot since Christ was a cowboy. Okay, and I use that term loosely, but you know what I mean. I'm not a religious man. It was just a good metaphor to use, or analogy per se. But still, we have to get really, really down to the brass tacks of what's happening here in Canada. Okay. How many more speeches do we have to hear about Donald Trump doing this and about Trump doing that? How many more life lessons do we have to teach other people when it comes to what's responsible government, what isn't responsible government? Okay. Now, I made mention about the whole Upper Canada Rebellion there, one of my episodes. Okay. And the reason that happened is because there was total unfairness and there was a monopoly on the markets at that time in what they called the Canadas. You had Upper and Lower Canada. Okay. So it was still a colony. And some of the farmers and workers got pissed off at the local government, basically the monarchy, and said, we had enough of your shit. And they did something about it. Now, it wasn't a big, glorious battle. There wasn't bodies lying all over the place. It was a couple of skirmishes. A few people were killed. Some people were caught and went to jail. Other people got hung in the name of treason. But it took something like that to smarten up a guy by the name of Sir Governor Sir Bonhead. What the hell is his first name? Anyway, my history is a little lost here. But the governor, Francis Bonhead, okay, from Britain, who answered directly to the Queen. And I believe that was Queen Victoria in her youth. Okay. And they smartened up because they didn't want another revolution on their hands like they had in the United States. So that being said, our government's got to smarten up. Our government's got to start pulling its pants up properly. And we got to start electing some decent officials in this country that really, really care about Canada. It doesn't matter if they care about the middle class or this class or that class. Okay. I'm seeing a lot of this shit coming out of the woodwork and things repeating itself too. Now, I am not going to diss the boomer generation, but there is an abundance of the boomer generation that thinks he's going to do a great job. He's going to make things special for everybody in this country because he has a background in economics. He almost broke the Bank of England. He brags about getting us out of an economic turmoil back in 2009 when it was Stephen Harper and Joe Flaherty that did it, because Blarney Carney was just working for the Bank of Canada at the time. So he has to answer to the Prime Minister's office. Doesn't matter what party he's in. Okay. So when you get a guy that brags about shit he never fucking did, he's just Trudeau, but the older version, Trudeau 2.0. Okay. And to my listeners out there who honestly believe that Canada should succeed, okay, stop blaming Trump. It's not Trump's fault that this country is divided. It's not Trump's fault that this country has had so many issues since 2015. Okay. He just kind of lit a firecracker up somebody's ass and they started using some initiative, right? It's funny how it has to take a foreign president, okay, from another country to tell us how to get things done, right? And yet we've been telling the government this for years, but now we're just the people. We just pay their fucking wages, right? But what do we know? Oh my God. What's the world coming to? It's a shit sandwich, folks.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
And you're back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 360. That's right, 360. More interference. So China has meddled after all. I'm your host, Crusty Canuck. If you like it here to see, click like, subscribe, share this podcast all over social media platforms. Do not be shy, ladies and gentlemen. Give me a thumbs up, give me a comment, and let me know where you're writing from. Okay, whether you see me on the tube, on Rumble, or even on Podbean too. And I want to say thank you out there to my new European listeners. I'm getting more Swiss and more Danes out there. Thank you very much from Canada. You're awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Right. And just keep downloading and sharing this all around too. I'd like to actually make some money doing this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to beg for coin, but I have donation links in my description. You can donate from too if you want to donate 5, 10, whatever you like to. I like to make this consistent. So the more you donate, the easier it's going to be too. So anyway, here's a video I got from CTV. It's just a quick blurb. I'm only about a minute and a half, but get what you can from it. And I will read an article from Global News there too, ladies and gentlemen. It's from Judy Trin there too. And she's actually done a pretty good job when it comes to asking Blarney Carney the tough questions, right? So just listen carefully. I put the subtitles on there too, so you can listen at your leisure, ladies and gentlemen.
Federal election officials have told Mark Carney that he's being targeted in a coordinated campaign by the Chinese government on WeChat. It began before Carney was chosen as Liberal leader and continued to spike after he was sworn in as Prime Minister.
Intelligence reporting links the Yoli Yomian account to the PRC, Chinese Communist Party Central Political and Legal Affairs Commission.
The news site linked to the Chinese Communist Party published both positive and negative comments about Carney and may have had up to 3 million views.
The foreign state-backed information operation was intended to influence Canadian Chinese communities and look to mold perceptions about the candidate.
The warning comes 1 week after the Liberals candidate in Markham, Paul Chang, resigned. Pro-democracy groups called on the RCMP to investigate Chang for foreign interference after comments he made about his conservative rival, Joe Tay, in January surfaced.
So right now, he is wanted by the Chinese government, and there's a $1 million reward on his head. So they want, if you guys want to pick him up and take him to the Chinese consulate, you make him $1 million. I'm just joking.
Federal election officials have told Mark Carney that he's...
Yeah, that was self-explanatory, ladies and gentlemen. That was just interesting how that kind of panned out. Mr. Paul Chang, and he stepped down, and he's being replaced with another former police officer and another Chinese diplomat. Now, I don't care if you're a citizen or not. There's a video of him out there singing praise to the Chinese Communist anthem while he's in a police uniform, a Canadian police uniform. You know what I mean? Interesting, eh? It's amazing how there's all this loyalty to China. Now, Mr. Carney did borrow $260 million for his company, Brookfield, right? Before he stepped down to run for prime minister. So what's that tell you? And there's also proof out there that Brookfield secured a $10 billion deal for something called Colonial Pipelines in the States. So here's a guy that's so anti-Trump. He wants to stand for Canada, but he wants to develop oil production in the States. And he also said that he doesn't want to touch Bill C-69, doesn't want to, touch anything with pipelines, even though they were trying to promote that when he first got in. So which is it? You want Canadian resources. You're going to fight the good fight against these tariffs. Yet you don't want to develop any fucking resources. Right? Like... And there's people that are looking forward to this guy in this country actually wanting to lead this country. What are you going to lead us to? The poorhouse? Probably, right? People making a big stink. Oh my God, he paused the carbon tax. Well, it should get rid of it altogether. It's nice to look at, when I look at my gas tank, I can save about $10. That's great. Right? But everything else is still sky high because you still have carbon tax on shipping, on industrial elements. Okay? So you're not doing us a favor there, pal. And kids, stop drinking the fucking Kool-Aid. How else do you explain it? Right? Think outside the box. Stop thinking that these people are going to save us. Oh, we have saviors here. Oh my goodness, they're going to save us from this depression. They're causing the fucking depression. Right? And a lot of people are going along with it. And it's really going to suck when you look at your wallet and again, there's nothing inside of it.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
And you're back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 360. So, China has meddled. That's right. We were right, weren't we, people? We were right. People are meddling in the election. People are not minding their own damn business, protecting their sovereignty, and all these bigwigs that say, we're protecting Canadian sovereignty. Bullshit. You're protecting your business interests and the interest of communist fucking China. There, I said it. not the Chinese people, not Chinese Canadians, not Chinese descendants of original Chinese Canadians, the people that built the railroad, okay? Fucking commies. Sorry, I don't mean to sound like a redneck, but how else do I dress it up? Okay? This government's been giving us a poop sandwich for far too fucking long. And just because they add some lettuce and tomato to it doesn't make it taste any better. It's still a fucking poop sandwich, right? I'm going to read an article here from Global. Okay. And a lot of it's with the WeChat. And they've had problems with the WeChat before, ladies and gentlemen. That whole application that basically infiltrates social media, up there with TikTok too. I'll get to that in a bit here. But it's just, oh my God, it's like the same thing under Justin Trudeau. It's Mark Carney this time. But hey, I'll just read this along. Okay. There's no real video here that I'm going to display for you. But, it's just, wow. It's a real poop show. So this is from Global News, ladies and gentlemen. Right. Just make sure your page is queued up here. Okay, good. So here we are. Basically, Canadian officials monitoring the federal election for foreign interference said Monday, that was yesterday, they have detected a Beijing-backed operation on the Chinese social media platform WeChat focused on Liberal leader Mark Carney. The information operation was launched by Yuli Yumain, WeChat's most popular news account, which has been linked to the Chinese Communist Party's Central Political and Legal Affairs Commission. Officials from the Security and Intelligence Threats to Elections, SITE task force said. Okay. According to the assessment unveiled Monday, the operation was intended to influence Chinese Canadian communities and mold perceptions about Carney through articles that were amplified and spread by other WeChat accounts in a coordinated and inauthentic way. So basically propaganda. Okay. This information operation has contrasting positive and negative narratives, first amplifying Mr. Carney's stance with the United States and then targeting his experience and credentials. Lori-Ann Kempton, Assistant Secretary to the Cabinet for Communications at the Privy Council office, told reporters in Ottawa. I don't think we can speak to the intent, but I will say that the PRC, People's Republic of China, should not be trying to shape the opinions of Canadians, particularly during an election period. Well, duh. They've only been fucking doing it since 2019. It was out there in the public. CSIS warned you. The RCMP warned you. What'd you do about it? Oh, I'll have someone else to clean up this mess. Oh. However, Kempton said a panel of senior bureaucrats that monitors elections has determined that this is not affecting Canada's ability to have a free and fair election. Really? Really? Oh, we'll see. Oh, my God. She explained that the WeChat campaign is not preventing Canadians from being able to make up their own minds about their vote. Well, didn't they have apparently something about students being bussed to help Mr. Hang Dong out? And yet he had to fucking step out of the Liberal Party because of that conspiracy, right? Examples shared by Canadian officials to the WeChat articles were mainly positive, calling Carney a tough guy. Prime Minister suggesting he was aligning with U.S. President Donald Trump against China. Officials said Monday they did not want to further amplify the information being shared, but noted that the intent to influence Canadian voters through a coordinated foreign state-backed operation is an issue regardless of the viewpoint being promoted. You're fucking right it is. The People's Republic of China is largely party agnostic in terms of the approach. What the hell does that mean? They're somewhat neutral? Jesus, crack don't smoke itself. My God. And certainly as the information ecosystem is changing, then that can account for positive narratives in one instance and negative in the other, said Vanessa Lloyd, Deputy Director of Operations in the Canadian Security Intelligence Service. Okay, well, Miss Intelligence, they are a threat. How else do you explain it? With the intelligence gathering that CSIS has done over the past 10 years, they are a threat, period. Okay. Officials notified the Liberal campaign about Chinese operation on Sunday, quote unquote, following increasing levels of engagement on the platform. 2 days after the election was called on March 23rd, the task force said. Oh, so they were getting right at it, were they? Oh, interesting. The task force also noticed large spikes of activity on March 10th, the day after Carney won the Liberal leadership race. Interesting. The site task force said it would be discussed the issue of the Yuli Yumain account with WeChat's Beijing-based developer, Tencent, on Monday to raise our concerns. That's right, you guys. You give them a stern talking to. Oh, Oh, what's the world coming to? Anyway, I'll leave this article in the description for you, ladies and gentlemen. But you tell them straight up. Get really mad at them, eh? Give them a piece of your mind. Fuck. Wow. I tell you. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to. I don't know how else to be blunt about this, but vote with your heads. Okay. Save your hearts for your country. Okay. Now, if you happen to be Canadian that gets to vote in this country for the first time, don't think about your homeland. Okay. This is your homeland now. You fought like hell to become a Canadian citizen. And this is a message I have to permanent residents who do who might have a voting right, and to brand new Canadians who do have voting rights. Okay. Think about what you're going to do. Okay. You've got a party here that has borrowed money and spent money, and not in the welfare of Canada, but in the welfare of other nations. Okay. There's nothing wrong with trying to be humane and having humanity. I say at the end of my show, humanity merit wins the day, because you got to go out and try to help people and try to earn something. That's what I want all Canadians to do. That's what my American friends do, my British friends, everybody in a working democracy or a country that wants a democracy. Go out and do your best to be good to people, but earn something. But now we have a government that the more you earn, the more they take. The more you want, the more they take away again, too. And the more they tax. And their idea and their logic is keep printing more money, and keep putting falsehoods in front of you. The ESG thing, DEI, more falsehoods. How about the people, all people that work here? How about all the people that go out and work 10, 12, 13, 14 hours a day? Some who have to drive to work an hour a day. Yours truly. Takes me 35 minutes from start to finish to get to my job. Okay. On a good day, I can get there in a half hour. Then mind you, I have to speed, but I don't want to do that. I'm not encouraging that kind of behavior, but I think you get my point. And if you're a brand new Canadian, you just graduated from school, you got the job you wanted, you have a little bit of trouble with English or French, doesn't matter, but you're paying your taxes, you're looking after your family, you're looking after your loved ones, you're trying to do right by what you think is right based on your own moral compass and your ethics. And now we got clowns in Ottawa again who have treated this whole thing like it's no big deal, nothing to really see here. We've done business with China before. What could be the issue? How many wheel deals and slaps and tickles are they doing behind closed doors in the name of this democracy? Mark Carney says we're going to have a challenge ahead of us. Yeah, because he represents a party that created all these fucking challenges. He represents a party that created all the monsters like me and other disenchanted veterans and other people out there that are fed up with the bullshit. So what are we going to do? Wait till an election. That's the Democratic thing to do. Okay. But once again, I want to tell the boomers out there that think Mark Carney's just doing a wonderful job and he's just misunderstood. You sound like a bunch of those commie kids who said Karl Marx was a fucking genius. Yet the man lived in his own filth. He slept around. He lied. He cheated. And he mooched off his family. He squandered his family fortune. And he mooched off his friends till his fucking death. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. You don't need a fucking degree in commerce or history to know that one. Right? So what kind of example is Mr. Carney and the party leading to? Now, I've watched some pretty good footage of the conservative rallies, really positive, really inspiring. Okay. But people have to wake up to the liberal brand. They're not liberal anymore. There's nothing liberal about them. There's nothing about you do your thing and we do our thing, but you better do our thing instead of your thing. That's how they roll. Right? Liberalism has done a total 180 since I started voting in my 20s. And it's scary, folks. It's scary. You talk to anybody who lived in former Eastern Europe, or lived, well, still Eastern Europe, but in the former Soviet satellite states of Eastern Europe, and they'll tell you this reminds them of their youth. I know because I've talked to some people. I've talked to Polish people that lived in Poland during the Solidarity movement. I talked to people that lived in the former Czech Republic and some former Russians. And some of the stories and some of the bullshit they were told as children and as the young adults on how this is bad and this is terrible. Oh, we're great here. We're great here. Well, people wait in line for fucking bread, or people wait in line to get their teeth looked at, or people wait in line for anything. Right? You go out and you work 10 or 12 hours a day. You shouldn't have to wait in line for a fucking loaf of bread or a piece of meat. You should be able to go and buy it. Right? Because you worked for it. You're making good money. But then when you look at your pay stub, you realize how much more is coming off in taxes because shitheads in Ottawa want to keep printing and printing and printing, saying, we're going to save the economy by making it go green and invest here, invest there. Except they don't want to invest in Canada. And that's what the problem is. We have to invest in Canada, ladies and gentlemen. And we got to put these fuckers to the job. So April 28th, choose the right way. What's going to be good for this country? Right? Keep the parliamentary ethic in the back of your head too. Not the person, not the party, but the constituents and the country. Okay? And that goes for my American friends too. It goes for my British friends, my German friends, everybody in a democracy. Stop worrying about Donald Trump. Start worrying about your own backyard and the people here in this native land, the land we call Canada. Stand on guard for thee. Anyhow, friends, I have been Crusty Canuck on this beautiful 8th of April, 2025. I wish good things to you all out there. Do not be shy. Please send me an email. Contact information is in my description. If you feel like donating, please donate. Don't be shy there too. Excuse me. Thank you once again to my new subscribers and the new comments I've received in my last videos. Once again, thank you to the two wonderful people I've met from San Diego. Thank you for chiming in. Yeah. I appreciate that immensely, right? And keep talking. You know, share this content all over your social media platforms. Don't be shy, ladies and gentlemen. Give me a thumbs up, give me a like, a subscribe, and just spread the word. Spread the word that Canadians out there are getting pissed. And something good, I think, might be on the horizon, but let's hope good things come to us come April 28th, ladies and gentlemen. But like I said, I've been Crusty on this beautiful 8th of April, 2025. Good things for you all. The weather's getting better. Snow is going away. Kind of sloppy and rainy today. So be careful on the roads. There's still a bit of ice in places and the side roads too. Don't get stuck. It is kind of muddy. So just keep your wits about you. Do what you can to help you out in these trying times. Be good to your friends, be good to yourself and your neighbors. And sometimes take a time out and take a breather. It can be overwhelming, I know, but always fight the good fight, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll try to get an episode up the next couple days, either Thursday or Friday. But needless to say, stay tuned to my community page on the tube and on Facebook for updates. And like I always say, ladies and gentlemen, humanity and merit wins the day. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.
Hit it, sweetheart. Because I am hard, you will not like me. Yes, sir. There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthy.
This has been another episode of the Crusty Canuck podcast. Stay sane and thank you for listening. From Western Canada, this is the Crusty Canuck podcast.
To absent friends, always remember, cheers.